as a kid during the summer, if you went to the corner store or went outside to grab the newspaper off the steps or whatever, sometimes you slip a pair of flip-flops on instead of wearing sneakers or slippers or shoes or what have you. Now, I'm a heavy walker, so I wasn't big on flip-flops. Then that thing to separate your big toe from your index toe would always pop out of socket. And then you get tired of it happening over and over. So you throw the flip-flops away and buy a new pair. I hated flip-flops. Well, maybe some of you are going to hate me now for the flip-flop I'm about to do. In my initial prediction, I picked Saul Alvarez to defeat Gennady Golovkin. I said Alvarez would be too young, too fast, too skilled, and athletic for the old man in this one. Golovkin is closer to 37 years old now than 36. CANELO will be a little quicker than before. He'll hit a little harder than before, hand wraps notwithstanding. He'll be more proficient defensively and will bring more offense in this rematch. He's in his physical prime, and Golovkin is past his prime. CANELO also has a grudge. He's got a lot to prove, whether he's passing tests legally or illegally. He feels he has a lot to prove, and he wants to shut everyone up and show them that he can legitimately beat Golovkin. And he's going to go for it on Saturday night. The reason I'm leaning the other way has nothing to do with drug testing. The reason I'm leaning the other way has nothing to do with the noticeable body changes or anything like that. If anything, Canelo's smaller frame will allow him to be more elusive and also quicker with his punches. The reason I'm leaning the other way doesn't have to do with how either guy looked at the weigh-in, which initially I thought would be my reason if I did change or lean the other way. I can't believe I missed this. It was right in front of my face and I missed it. I won't say why I'm leaning the other way until after the fight. Okay? If I'm right. But I'll talk about why I've changed thoughts after the fight. As far as the final prediction, I like Gennady Golovkin by TKO or a fair decision. I believe Golovkin's going to get hurt in this rematch. However, I think he's going to hurt Canelo worse than Canelo hurts him. The question is, if he drops Canelo, will Canelo get up? If so, will he be able to finish? In the first fight, I think Canelo hurt G with a counterpunch because Golovkin was just too hesitant at times throughout the fight. I mean, he just seemed too cautious of Canelo's counterpunching. Here's what I see, and I haven't heard anyone talk about this. I think Saul Canelo Alvarez, the counter puncher in this fight, is going to have his moments offensively. However, as a result, I think he's going to get caught with his own medicine. Gennady Triple G Golovkin is going to hit Canelo with a counterpunch, and he's going to hurt him. He may wobble him. He may knock him down, or he just may knock him out. You know, I asked about 30 people here in Vegas who they had in the fight. And I'm going to say about 80% of them, maybe even 90% of the fans, boxing personalities, and media are rolling with Canelo. There's some media guys I talked to, and most of them say Canelo, but a few say Golovkin. Strangely, though, everybody I talked to, except one person, everybody I talked to believes it's going the distance. Two people, I'm sorry. One has Golovkin by knockout, the other has Alvarez by knockout. The rule when you bet on fights or any sport, any team, any athlete, is you look at the late money. And I went to the sports book, and a truckload of late money is going on Saul Canelo Alvarez. And I just don't know what everybody's seeing, but generally when you bet on a team and all the late money comes in on a particular team, when something is already close, as the lines were for this, then whoever gets all that late money usually wins. The team, the athlete, so on and so forth. Well, the line, sometimes the odds makers will do something if a line is too wide for someone to try to even it up. In this case, it was the odds from start to finish have always been close. So for all that late money to come on Alvarez, either something's been leaked, either somebody knows something I don't, or I don't know. I just don't see it. But one thing that every media person that I spoke to, every media person, not almost every media person I talked to has the fight going the distance. One boxer that I talked to, Lopez, in the previous video, he likes Golovkin by stoppage. And then one fan who's a gambler has Alvarez stopping Golovkin. And he's a seasoned gambler, so I'm like, well, what do you know that I don't? And he just smiled. So I could be wrong. This one, and then I could be wrong about the distance. This one might go the distance in a close ending, but I'm rolling with Gennady Golovkin by stoppage. If Canelo can endure what Golovkin brings, I'll still rock with Golovkin, but by fair and clean decision in the rematch, setting up, you guessed it, a trilogy. All right, listeners, watch the counterpunch. I think it's going to be big in this fight. Just not from the guy everyone thinks is going to throw it. More coverage will continue from Vegas. Stay with us.